Well, let's start with those proposed cuts and changes within the federal government. I want to go to Tom Dempsey, who is at the White House right now, talking about the different situation with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s family has been pushing back against him. Tom, in fact, firing off a letter that many might say is a bit disturbing, to say the least.
Absolutely. Good morning, Nick. Look, just a few hours, the first of two hearings kicks off, confirmation hearings for Health and Human Services Secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And this one really has all the makings of political must-see TV. We're talking about issues like vaccines and abortion likely to come up, as well as this scathing letter from a family member who just so happens to be the daughter of a former president of the United States. Let's jump right into it as far as what we can expect today. This hearing is going to be taking place in front of the Senate Finance Committee, and expect RFK's past comments about vaccines to come up, including how he supported discredited claims that vaccines cause autism and that no vaccine is safe and effective. RFK has really tried to downplay those comments recently, saying he's not anti-vaccine and he will not take away shots if confirmed. But senators are also likely going to dig into RFK's abortion stance. Some Republicans are worried about his past comments supporting the procedure. Former Vice President Mike Pence, in fact, has already come out saying the Senate should reject RFK for it. But getting to that letter, it's the scathing letter to senators from Caroline Kennedy, the daughter of former President John F. Kennedy, that could be part of the hearing as well today. In it, she calls her cousin RFK a predator and brings up allegations of him using drugs and mutilating animals in the past, warning RFK is not qualified to lead Health and Human Services.
Unlike Bobby, I try not to speak for my father, but I am certain that he and my Uncle Bobby, who gave their lives in public service to our country, and my Uncle Teddy, who devoted his long Senate career to the cause of improving health care, would be disgusted.
So, Nick, again, a lot to watch out for today. That hearing with RFK Jr. kicks off at 10 a.m. Eastern time here in Washington, D.C., and then there's going to be another confirmation hearing for him tomorrow in front of the Senate Health Committee. Nick?
So, Tom, even with all of that, though, the question is, what are RFK Jr.'s chances at actually getting confirmed?
Yeah, so there's still a lot of things kind of evolving with this vote that we could see. Like we said, we've seen some Republicans voice concerns about his stances on abortion, but we've also seen some Democrats come out in support of RFK for his stance on things like food regulations and trying to remove dyes and, other things from food. So, again, there's a lot to watch out for with this vote. Some of the key lawmakers to keep an eye out for this week. We're talking about Republican Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, who chairs the Senate Health Committee. He's also a physician and has voiced concerns about RFK's past comments on vaccines. He said he's spoken with RFK directly about this, but just this week, he said he's still unsure about how he'll vote. Republican Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma will be part of the hearing today and has raised concerns over RFK's abortion comments. But others, though, say they look forward to voting for RFK.
We don't agree on everything, but what we both agree is that America has some health problems. And we believe that the key to fixing that is nutrition, as well as decreasing the chronic exposure to toxins. So I look forward to working with you.
Another senator to keep an eye out for, a big one, Senator Mitch McConnell, a polio survivor who is speaking in the past about, just how the vaccine for polio played such an important role in his life. So, again, a lot to look out for this week with these hearings, Nick.
A lot. Tom Dempsey live for us in the nation's capital. Tom, thank you.